Hi Geminis, and welcome to your April 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I hope you're all doing really well. If you've seen the April 2022 comprehensive video, I'm sure you are excited to get a better idea of what is shaping up this month. It is a very important and very sizable month of this year of 2022 that is introducing for a lot of people new levels of effort. We're having to try to do some new things here. We're having to shake things up a little bit in April and start to come to an understanding of how we move forward. So there's a major decision point, I feel, for you in April, Gemini. You've got some, I would like to say, major opportunities to level up. I mean, yes, if we look at this reading, we see some difficult things: 9 of Wands, 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles reversed. But I also see some hopeful new beginnings as well coming up with the Fool, with the Knight of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. You are, through what you go through this month, going to be really zooming out and getting a better view of what you want your world to consist of. And oftentimes it comes through facing a fear. So I feel with the 10 of Swords and the 8 of Swords coming up, like April is showing you like facing a fear or getting past a certain gauntlet or a difficult series of events that's been very challenging. So even though I feel that it might be like difficult for you this month, you might come out of April with a lot of new qualifications or a lot of new progress that basically allows you to move forward much more substantially than you could have imagined. So if you do find yourself going through something difficult or cumbersome or challenging, try to remember that it's enabling a greater possibility for you in the future. I feel also intuitively for you, Gemini, that it's important to keep things small or to not get too obsessed with the future. We've got the 7 of Cups coming up as well. And I almost feel like some Geminis might be being trapped by their future or like by thinking so much about what could be coming or what is on the horizon. Again, with 2 of Wands as well, there's a lot of thought about what comes after this. You know, what am I going to pursue? What is the future going to give to me? And that might be kind of trapping you, okay? There's a feeling of also 8 of Pentacles reversed, like having to work too hard, maybe as you're working or as you're producing or even overproducing. You might be thinking like, okay, in the future, I'm going to do better. I'm going to have more of what I want. And we want to maybe see more of a concerted effort to actually do that now or to face these things now. And I think there's a pretty big paradigm shift in like how you force yourself to produce certain things or how you maybe set deadlines for yourself or how you handle procrastination. Those can be really good things to correct here. So if you're seeing that you're setting yourself unrealistic deadlines, if you're seeing that you're not, taking a healthy enough stride and you're maybe forcing yourself to do too much, too close to a deadline, I think this would be a good month to start to fix that and to start to give yourself more time to finish things, give yourself more wiggle room, leave the house a bit earlier perhaps, and work more methodically and slowly in order to not be so overwhelmed. Because I feel like overwhelm is really the enemy here, and we don't want to feel that way, okay? We want to know that what we're creating can stand the test of time, and we don't want to work so hard so fast every day that we feel discouraged or too overwhelmed to really face the important stuff. Because I think by May and by the time you get back to your season, there's going to be a pretty important judgment call for you to make. So you want to be coming at that from a healthy place. We do have the exact Jupiter-Neptune conjunction happening in April, which is in your fellow mutable sign of Pisces. So being that that's a square, you might have a slight kind of contradiction within your dream. And that is also really indicated in the archetypes coming up in this reading. 7 of Cups as well, rooting down that 10 of Swords in the 3rd week there. That's a very strong, potent Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces time. And you might even feel like you're betraying your own dreams or you're not able to really step up to those. And why? It might be good to get to the bottom of that there. I think there's a lot you can do to just have those now or to start pursuing those dreams and to not feel so conflicted within them. You're going to, by the end of the month, be starting on a new path or creating things a bit differently in your life or resolving some issues. And whatever you can do to be prepared to do that by the end of the month, I think will serve you really well. Okay, let's talk about your week-to-week Geminis. Okay, week number 1, you have the Knight of Swords rooted down by the Nine of Wands. So that sort of question, like, do I move really fast or do I take a more methodical approach? It's honestly two completely contradicting archetypes there. So you might see where that's coming from in your own life. Like, where am I having this, like, really all or nothing attitude? Like, where am I thinking, okay, I've got to either do this a million miles an hour or I've got to slow down, or it seems really like push and pull, or there's like it's kind of a square peg in a round hole type of situation there. And that's frustrating, and especially, you've probably been feeling this for a while if that is how it is, in the first week of April. If you've been feeling that for a while, maybe you need to switch it up a little bit. Take a slower approach to what you've been moving so quickly with, and go more quickly with what you've been moving so slowly with, and maybe mix it up like that, and that will perhaps help you a little bit there. Week number 2, you've got the Two of Wands rooted down by the Eight of Swords. So we are coming through that T-square, and also having a lot of different Pisces stelliums start to shape up there. So it's really just exposing you to what is underneath, or honestly like above, not so much underneath, but above your current regiment in your life. So it's kind of showing you like you could expand this career or this project in this way. And but at the same time, you're like, but how could I ever fund that? How could I ever be confident enough to step into that? Somehow, I think that it will work out. And I think that you can really overcome some of these parameters or limitations that you've set on yourself. And it's important to maybe know when, or to really hold the world or your world in your hand like that and really look at it and see, is this shaping up to be what I want it to be, or is this more of a confinement for me? Sometimes we can trick ourselves up a little bit there. We think that this like job or this project is liberating, when in fact it is perhaps restrictive. And it's good to start to make things more liberating in your life, and to really make sure that the choices you're making are contributing to a freer Gemini instead of a more limited Gemini. Okay, week number 3, Ten of Swords rooted down by Seven of Cups. It is like the climax of that. So you might be finishing something there. You might be ending. I'm seeing some of you even like quitting a job, perhaps, if you have come to that point where you have ended a career, or you have ended a relationship, any type of ending. I think it will be very liberating for you. But of course, there's always a cycle there. There's always a process of overcoming that, and a process of bereavement or ending phase that we have to face. And always with the Seven of Cups, I recommend like watch out for focusing so much on a goal, or focusing so much on the future, that you lose track of yourself, or you lose sight of where you are right now. It's kind of like that with the Ten of Swords as well. It's kind of darker, shadowy energy. So it might be good to lighten things up in the third week, or it might be good to take an easier approach, a more lighthearted approach, and more prayer, more mantra, more light work, more like rose quartz energy, something to kind of lighten things up. Okay, week number 4, it's already working. The Fool rooted down by Eight of Pentacles reversed. You're in a lot lighter place. It's like right after the Ten of Swords does come like the Fool energy, right? Like, wow, that felt like a betrayal, or that felt like a difficult ending. But in reality, I have a lot more now, or I have a lot more capability to start over, or to have a new beginning. And the key to this new beginning, so the Eight of Pentacles reversed, rooting that down, is like you got to have an easier time. You've got to maybe leverage what you have instead of trying to lift 1,000 pounds with your own effort. Like, try to use some type of lever. I feel like there's a need for a lever, or you need to somehow make what you're doing a little bit less heavy and easier to wield. There's something unwieldy about the energy here in April. And by your season, I would love to see for you, Gemini, a more coordinated, wieldy, and assuredly right for you structure that doesn't have you overworking so much, or doesn't have you pushing so hard. Okay? That is indicated for you by the end of this month. So thinking the entire month of April, how can I make this lighter? How can I have a less heavy heart? How can I carry what I have in my life with more ease? For some people, it's easier to carry things in a bag than it is to carry them all in your hands. It's as simple as that, I feel, with this reading. Or, it's easier to sometimes ask for someone to carry something for you to help you carry that load instead of doing it all yourself. So I would say, in conclusion, Gemini, that your entire month of April revolves around innovating new levers for your experience and somehow lightening the load a little bit, okay? Let's talk more about that in your extended reading on Patreon. I'll get a central theme and 2 supporting themes, and we'll see what else is coming up for you. Have a great month, Geminis. That will be linked below and in the center of your screen now. Let's do this extended. Much love. Bye.